My name is Tiffany Johnson, and welcome to the second episode of the Tier Childcare Podcast. After being in childcare for many years and having my own successful business, I wanted to show you what it takes to be top tier. As a childcare owner, we don't always have parents who can give valuable information to better our program. It is important to be able to have difficult conversations and see the parent's perspective. So today we have a special guest, Raven Ashford. So Raven, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm a mother of two. I have two sons, Jameer and Mecca.
They my babies.
They've been attending your facility since Jameer was 3. He's 9 now. Mecca, 6 weeks. He's 4 now. And pretty much it.
All righty. Okay, so question. As a parent, what do you look for in choosing a childcare center? Because I'm not sure if Mecca was Jameer, was my center Jameer first center?
Yes.
Okay. So go back all those years. So when you choose a childcare center, what was you looking for?
I mostly look for how the teachers interact with the kids, how the children interact with each other, what type of curriculum they had, security, not really, someone being there, but how is the facility secured, safety, a lot of those different things, communication with the parent about the children or what type of events they may have or anything like that.
Because I think it's important for not just directors, but like childcare owners to know like a parent's perspective of things. Because I know even though your babies go to my center, one of my schools, like you have been one of the parents that I can kind of lean on and say, okay, what's going on? Or you mad about something? What's going on? What is it that you're mad about? So we can fix it, because you are one of the vocal parents that I really appreciate. I like the parents that's very vocal, because that's the only way that you're gonna really get to have quality childcare is if somebody speak up and say something. So if a parent was to come in and just, I'm pulling my kids out, and you don't know why, like something could have happened or something that could have been fixed that wasn't fixed. So now it's going to be a domino effect with the rest of the parents. So I think it's important, for people to hear like why or what parents look at when choosing a childcare center, because everybody's perspective is different, or everybody looks at different things, or even with security. A lot of childcare centers may or may not have it, but they don't understand how important it is for a parent to, I'm gonna drop my babies off, and I don't know if somebody can come through the door. I don't know if y'all got cameras. I don't know if y'all even have a security system. Like what do you guys do if it's an active shooter? Like that's important for a lot of parents, because especially in today's world, how many times kids that went to school or public school and never returned back home. So, that's important, for parents for people that's in childcare or even trying to open up their own childcare center, to know like security is a thing that we sometimes don't think about. So what do you wish childcare centers added to the program? Like out of all the things that you have looked for when you enroll your babies, like what's the one thing that you feel like, not just for our center, but just in general? You have friends with kids, and their children may go to other centers or whatever. Like what's the one thing that you feel like, I wish they did this?
I would say maybe a parent resource center, or like not just a center, maybe something that can give parents information that they don't have, like ways to qualify for different things, or just like just some type of resource. Sometimes as a parent, you might have one thing on your mind at that time, but 1,000 other things, and to be able to go in and say, okay, well, I saw at the center that they have assistance with anything, and that was helpful to me. So I would say that.
So the crazy part about it is, and I'm about to jump out my seat in 2.5 seconds, because I just sat with the school's architect Tuesday, and we're building a new school. So in each school that we're building, it has a parent resource center. But that, just like I was talking to on another episode that we had, your why. So no, when I was, of course, a teen mom, I end up having to get things on my own, like trying to figure out what's next. Like I didn't know how to enroll in school. I didn't know about FI at the time. I knew about SNAP, but I didn't know, it's other things outside. Even like resources as far as like a speech pathologist and stuff like that, that parents do not know. They're not aware, like I can really get these services and these services are free. So for me, it's not only just for the children part, it's for them too. Like now everything is online. So even when it comes down to applying for what they call them scholarships now. What they did call it was vouchers.
Yeah.
So even now, like that is not paper anymore. Just 2 years ago, it was paper.
Yeah.
So we have come to, a lot of parents come like, we don't know how to do this. And so now we gotta call the state and say, hey, walk us through it. Give us the link so we can share it with the parents. But instead of the parents going home with the link or going on their phone trying to figure it out, getting stuck, we have a parent now that we had to come in and like help because she qualified for it, but because it was online and she couldn't get through the online process, she just was like, forget it. I figure out a way to pay out of pocket.
Yeah.
And it's like, baby, no.
Yeah.
Like you already having a hard time, paying the tuition and you qualify for it because you qualified for it before. Like we gonna figure this thing out. So a parent resource center listen. That's how I know I'm doing God's work.
Exactly.
Because that is the one thing that we added to, and that was my vision when I go back on when I wanted to open up a center. Like I have all my notebooks from when I, everything that I wrote down that I wanted to do. I sometimes still have to go back to those books to remind myself, no, Tiffany, you said you wanted this. Because at the time I worked in other childcare centers at, big companies. And I always looked at what they didn't do or what they didn't have. And what the parents struggled with. And me and my sister was trying to work hard to kind of help the parents. And I'm like, you know what? If we have a parent resource center, it would be so much easier for the parents, even for the ones that go to school. If you don't have time to drop the kids off, go home, and then go to work, what if you can drop the kids off at the center, come to the front in the parent resource center, take your class for an hour and a half, and then go about your business? That's a big relief for parents. So I'm glad you said that. So I hope nobody else will see my idea. Because we literally just sat down with the architect on Tuesday to add that. Because again, when I gave them the plans, it was the classrooms. It was all about the kids. And then I had to go back to my why. I'm like, wait a minute. You do things for the family. You just don't do stuff for the kids. So let's go back and let's figure out how we can make these parents' life a lot easier. Because it's a lot. Because a lot of single parents, single moms and dads, I see that all the time now. So I'm glad that was one thing that we can add that we're in the future adding to our centers. So how do you feel about effective communication? Like, how do you feel like, what's the best way you feel like centers can communicate with parents?
I would honest, for me, the most effective is face to face, but because y'all do like the ProCare messages, those are always good too. Because sometimes I might be at work and that message might pop up, and I'm like, okay, good, I can remember this, or I might be getting the kids ready and that'll pop up, but. Y'all still have messages on the door. That still works too, because I might be walking in, I might be done forgotten. I come through the door and the messages. I'm like, I think all ways can be effective. Just depends on for who. But for me, they all work together collectively.
All depends on what's going on in your life.
Yes.
Because some parents have hectic mornings or hectic afternoons. So that's when, and for me, I take everything that I do, I always look at it from when I'm still a parent, but when my baby was in childcare. So it's like, okay, sometimes the notes did work. But I also know some parents, they be rushing in the afternoons and that paper go on the floor.
Yeah.
When they get in the car. Cause I've been that parent. Or you rushing, coming in or going out and you do pay attention to the door. Some parents don't pay attention to the door. Some parents don't even download the app as they should, so they can know what's going on with the kids. So, and some parents are not technology savvy. We got some kids that's in foster care or with their grandparents. So, like the older generation. I'm not saying like their granddaddies, they can't.
Yeah.
But some of them are not that technology savvy. So the notes and the notes on the door and in their hand, so for me, I always try to communicate in every way to meet the need of every parent. Because some parents like, I'm not reading, I don't want an extra paper. If it's in the app, I got it.
Okay.
And again, some parents like, I'm not reading no app. If it ain't in my hand, I'm not dealing with it. And some parents don't want none of it. Just let me know, I see the note on the door and I figure it out. So that's good to know. Like I said, not just for my own personal center, but for all the other childcare centers. Like it communicating different ways is effective. Communicating one way, you only hit a small portion of parents in the center. So you may have 3 parents that may look at the note on the door. It was effective for those 3 parents. But don't forget about the parents that, use technology a lot. Or don't forget about the parents that don't want to do neither. Just give them a note. Don't say nothing to them next for them to walk out the door. And they'll read it after kids go to sleep. So it's important for everybody for us to communicate in every way. So, it's really good for everybody to really know that part.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like childcare centers can help parents overall outside of the great resource center that you told everybody about?
I don't know what way they can help more. I honestly feel like they already do so much, especially your center with my kids. I'm just to be able to take them there and not have to worry about how they cared for or what's going on. That's the biggest blessing for me. So I don't know how much more they could be more effective for the parents.
She's trying to tell y'all that we're just great and wonderful.
I tell you, he been there since he been 3. He 9.
But I know because we do go above and beyond for parents or whatever. Because we want everybody to feel appreciated. So just to give everyone else the kind of the background of what we normally do. Like, so even when you guys get birthday gifts, when it's your birthday or the kid's birthday, like that's something that we just go above and beyond for because most of the time parents don't get birthday gifts out at all. It's more so like, mommy, happy birthday. And that's about it, unless you're married or, you got to boo things.
My son's a little different. I'm telling them, like, you got to buy gifts.
Right. You got to spend the money.
Save your money and buy your mama a gift.
So, but having the childcare center take that, off of, you and the child, and also for you to feel appreciated. Like, y'all remember my birthday? You know how many times I got that reaction? Like, y'all knew it was my birthday.
I just got my gift.
Yeah.
July the 8th when I came in. I was like, oh, that's for me.
Because we want you to feel, important and not even, and also the kids too, because even though, like, of course, you always have took care of your babies, but everybody is always not in the best financial place. So to be able to do stuff for the kids. So we, even with the kids, like, Jamil Mecca, they get a gift every time they birthday come around, whether it's a truck or something. It's gonna be something in those bags for them to have because it's important. So even if you wasn't, in the best place financially, or you didn't even have transportation, you know that your baby's got something for their birthday, and that one little thing, and in the childcare center, even saying happy birthday to them, and or giving them a cake and ice cream or whatever during that day, like that takes the extra stress off of you because you don't have to worry about, Lord, how am I going to get this done? So that's a lot of ways I think that we just go above and beyond. I'm not saying that everybody else have to do that, but just overall showing more appreciation. Even with them doing the parent appreciation. So on top of y'all birthdays and the kids' birthdays, once a month, we do the parent appreciation once a month. And we do it for the teachers as well. Because again, if you got a snack going out the door or grabbing a cup of coffee, on the way in or out, like that's important because I love Starbucks, but Starbucks is high. You can't, I don't know who can, some people can afford to go there every day, but I can't. And a lot of parents can't either. So just being able to have those particular things to come in, I think that it will overall enhance the customer service for parents. Because to me, it's about how you make parents feel. and how you make the child feel. Because I have been in centers, I normally like market other centers, and I have went to been in other places and went to other centers, and on the outside it looked hit. Okay. But when I go into the inside, the way they make you feel, the way that it looks, the way they're interacting with the kids, I'm like, oh, this is the reason why everybody is at this center. Like nobody cares about what the outside looks like. It's about what's going on in the inside. And I think that's what people have to understand is like figure out what's going on in the inside first. Don't just pass by a child care center because it may be small, it may be big, but just figure out what's going on in the inside, and that will help you choose the next center for your babies. So I got one last question. What difficulties or situations that you felt like you have found yourself in while your babies have been in childcare, and how you feel like the childcare center has helped you overcome those challenges that you have had?
Mm, I remember when Jameer first started as Success by Steps, he came in and he didn't speak well. He had a speech impediment, and I was a little self-conscious about it, and I felt the way about it. And I remember when he came in and I did the tour, and I saw how the other kids were interacting, and I was just like worried because I'm like, okay, my son does not speak that well for his age. And I remember expressing that to you. And it wasn't a week later after he started, and you came to me, you was like, yeah, I did notice that he is a little behind as far as the other kids, but don't worry, I'm going to reach out to a speech therapist I know. And I remember he started, we all kind of worked with him, getting through it, taking the speech therapy, doing the classes, doing the work. And it wasn't even a full year, I noticed a drastic change in his speech. And I just was like, yeah, I'm sold. This the one. This is what we're gonna be. And to other people, that might have been small, but that was major for me because it not only let me know that you are hands-on with the kids, that you care, and that you will go above and beyond to make sure that they get the things they need. And that was just everything for me.
Oh, thank you. Like I said, and that one thing I have noticed that a lot of parents, like they're so shy and they're so timid about it because they don't want to say anything or they end up being in denial about it. So for me, I just try to soften the blow. So because it's nothing wrong with your baby, like it's okay. Like having a speech pathologist is not the end of the world. It's not saying that your baby is severely delayed. It's something that we can fix if we fix it now. So just being able to say, hey mama, yep, this we can fix it. Like, yep, I noticed it. And paying attention to the parents and the kids for us was just important for us to do, because some parents don't even notice.
Yeah.
Because it's like they only got one child. So they go home with them all day. They're not around other kids. So they don't notice like, well, it's nothing wrong with my baby, or that he don't need speech, or he doesn't need, some type of therapy. And we have to bring it to their attention. Like, yeah, it's okay that if they do, it's not the end of the world. So I'm glad we were able to, turn things around, because honey, he talked now. He talking well, and you would never think in a million years that he has speech. I say the same thing for, my daughter. She's 17 now. And if I tell people now that she had speech issues, they were like, who had speech? Yeah, her. That girl right there was in speech for years. But you can't tell, because we try to make sure we get the best of the best. So Miss Loretta is the best of the best. And I have had, I just had a parent, we had a meeting this past Wednesday, and I had a parent to come to me and was like, Tiffany, I'm so glad that you got her to come, because my baby wasn't talking at all, and you paid attention. And she was like, at first I was in denial about it. She was like, but you made me, feel so comfortable, and now he's talking, like, it won't hush.
It's definitely how it goes.
So I'm just glad, like I said, overall, that we personally was able to help you. But for other childcare centers, out there, they paying attention to the parents, and also the kids it's always going to be a given, to be able to have a good, successful running business. So I actually appreciate you for coming and telling me about you and Mecca and Jameer. That's my babies. And just giving us the experience that you have had, in our childcare facility. And not saying that we're trying to, boost up our child, because we have a wait list. Okay. We can't take them on right now. But just allowing other parents, the be okay with with being having the children in childcare. Because some people still want to place their kids in childcare to this day because they feel because of the news. I want my baby to come home, or my baby, got bitten, or my baby got left on the bus and stuff like that. But if you look at some of the qualities that you mentioned earlier, in enrolling your child in childcare, I think that everybody will be okay. But just pay attention to those things, because those are really key factors on, hey, do I have my baby in the best place that I know I can go to work and be comfortable, and I also can be able to know exactly what they're doing throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you for coming by and
having
chatting
me.
with us. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Top Tier Childcare Podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you have any questions, you can email us at info@btoptier.org. Remember, quality service is not what you put into it. It's what the customer gets out of it. See you next time.